Hey there, quirky folks. I'm your host, Anna, and today we'll be comparing the two avatar bodies of the main protagonist and antagonist in The Way of Water. Stephen Lang gave us a remarkable performance as Colonel Miles Quaritch in the first movie, so it was obvious why James Cameron wanted him to return in the sequel. But before the movie came out, many were confused how he'd return after his death, and James Cameron answered the query with the Na'vi clone of Quaritch.
I'll be nice once, then I won't.
The RDA deployed a failsafe just in case Quaritch was not able to finish the job on Pandora. While they were growing avatar bodies for Quaritch and his men on Earth, they recorded the memories of those Marines to be implanted into those bodies. This way, the RDA created avatar clones of Quaritch and his soldiers, which were called recombinants. Now, with the training and battle experiences that Quaritch already had, he became a great asset for the RDA. The playing field got leveled as he got the same mind and skills, but a much more powerful body to execute his plans. And yet, we felt that Quaritch was a much weaker avatar compared to Jake's Na'vi body. Why is that though? With all the training that Quaritch had over time, his new body should have allowed him to overpower anybody, let alone Jake. But that didn't happen because despite his extensive combat experience and training with weapons, most of his team of avatars got wiped out pretty fast by the Sullys earlier in the film. Then even in the final battle, they didn't prove to be any match for Jake and Neytiri. At the end, Quaritch was left all alone. He did hold his own against Jake, but ultimately, he was beaten by Neytiri's mind games and Jake's physical strength once again. That's two failures for Quaritch in the two Avatar movies we've seen. So let's talk about why he failed even in his new Avatar body where he could have totally succeeded. The first and most important reason for this weakness is his experience in the new body. Before coming back as Recom Quaritch, all his training and experience came only in his human body. So he was still learning to adapt to his blue body. Kudos to him for taming and bonding with an Ikran much faster. But overall, he only spent 5 to 6 months in his new body. He was practically a baby compared to Jake, who had years of practice and experience by now. Because of his handy-capable condition on Earth, Jake already had an unmatched drive to live his life to its fullest when he became a Na'vi being. There was no stopping him. Then he led the Omaticaya clan for about 15 to 16 years. So that's a lot of time to hone his skills and become an unbeatable warrior. He was a master at riding Ikrans and Banshees, especially after bonding with the giant red Turok. And then he learned the ways of water as well. So, you have to say that he was more skilled than Quaritch. But still, it was a big achievement for Quaritch to come really close to beating Jake in their one-on-one combat. He is a tough guy who is just unkillable. I mean, sure, his human clone was brutally murdered in part 1, but he was brought back and didn't die in Avatar 2 either. He was left for the dead under the ocean. But Spider only saved him after he showed that he cared for his son. He surrendered when Neytiri was about to kill Spider, and that made Spider question his moral compass when he came across Quaritch underwater. Now, I believe that Quaritch will come back even more determined in Avatar 3. He would surely be able to overpower Jake Sully, but he has to realize that his real competition lies with Neytiri. Recom Quaritch was just asked to assume that Jake was responsible for the human Quaritch's death. That's why he was hell-bent on getting his revenge from Jake. But then he found out that it was actually Neytiri who brutally murdered human Quaritch. And now she managed to overpower Recom Quaritch mentally as well. So instead of Jake, he needs to look at Neytiri as his true competition. While Jake has only spent about 15 to 16 years in his Na'vi body, Neytiri has been a true Na'vi being for 34 years or so. That's why she is no less than Hawkeye when it comes to her archery skills. So we need to get ready for a Neytiri versus Quaritch battle in Avatar 3 The Seed Bearer, because it will happen for sure. Could Quaritch beat Neytiri this time around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.